What I'm about to tell you is the most important thing I have ever told you. Well, I think we can agree that those were beaches. And what I also think we can agree on, and not just us, but almost everybody in the world, is that we, as a people, love beaches. And whether it be admiring it from afar or going to the beach, spending time there, we all love them and value them. Well, here in California, we value our beaches because of, especially in Southern California, the wide, warm, sandy shores, the beautiful breaking waves, the palm tree-lined walkways, the sun, the weather, the surfing, etc. But if we look deeper into it, the reasons we value our beaches is much more nuanced. One thing that I think gets overlooked by the general public that goes to the beach, but brings immense value, is the very rich ecology of the beach. And though it gets overlooked by most people, we've all seen it firsthand. Think back to when we were kids. We all went right to where the water meets the shore, and as soon as a wave came in and washed back out, we took a big scoop of the sand crabs, or as they're also called, mole crabs, and they get their nutrients from wrack, which is organic debris like seaweed that washes on the shore. And then you see those little flies that dance around it. They're getting their nutrients. It may look like an eyesore to many people, but it's actually very valuable to the beach. And they help regulate the sand, the transport of the sand. They keep the sand healthy. And then they're also a food source for the bigger animals that we see. And again, right after a wave washes back out, we see those little birds with the long legs, sandpipers, run to where the wave was and peck into the sand. They're fishing for mole crabs. That's their primary source of food. And sandpipers obviously aren't the only birds on this beach in Southern California, because we're all familiar with seagulls. And even though many people think they're a nuisance trying to get their food from their beach picnic, they're incredibly valuable to the beach ecosystem. Because, like the sandpipers, they also eat small crustaceans and insects. But then they also dive into the water and regulate the fish population close to the shore. And ultimately, the ecology is an inherent value of the beach. But we also find value in what it brings to us, especially on the sandy beaches of Southern California. Now, first of all, sandy beaches are synonymous with surfing. Now, surfing was originally developed by Pacific Islanders. It's an indigenous sport. And around the turn of the century, between the 19th and 20th centuries, Hawaiians brought surfing to the West Coast, especially Southern California, where it became picked up by locals living here. It spread all along the coast. Competition started, especially with the youth. People even started businesses selling surfboards, teaching people how to surf. And as soon as you knew it, surfing was one of the most popular beach activities in America. And today, what started out as an indigenous Pacific Islander activity has now turned into an international sport. And it was just recently added to and will be here in LA at the Olympics in 2028. And in the beach's value to us, in addition to recreation and sport, the beach also in many parts of the world brings luxury. Just look at any tropical beach community, usually in the global south, there are luxury hotels for Western tourists. But on the other hand, we also have these kind of luxury beach getaways in Europe, especially in the Mediterranean, like the French Riviera, the Italian Riviera. The beach there brings this connotation of definite luxury, of romantic getaways, wine by the beach, traditional, stereotypical Mediterranean music playing, yachts, etc. So ultimately, no matter where it is, no matter who it is, no matter how it gets used, whether it be ethical or not, we love to use the beach. It is immensely valuable to our lifestyle. It has inherent value in its ecology, but we love to use it. And of course, because they're such dynamic and fragile places, beaches are immensely threatened. And first, we can look at sea level rise. And sea level rise ties back to climate change. So one of the most fundamental reasons of sea level rise and climate change is greenhouse gases like carbon dioxide get emitted into the atmosphere, and they trap heat from the sun. Now, one of the most well-known examples of this in regards to the ocean is melting ice. Land-based ice, like glaciers, are melted and add more water to the sea, therefore rising the sea level. Additionally, the trapped heat in the atmosphere also warms up the ocean water. And when water is at a higher temperature, it gets less dense and it expands, therefore rising the sea level. Now, when the sea level rises, the land doesn't. So now the water is reaching farther up onto the shore, therefore reducing the size of the beach. Sea level rise also destroys habitats for beach wildlife. Another significant threat to beaches is shoreline armoring. This is construction that is done in order to protect beaches. For example, when a community is not satisfied with the size of their beach, they will build what is called a groin, which is a structure that lies perpendicular to the beach, so jutting out from the shore, and its purpose is to block longshore transport, which is the natural transport of sand along the coast in the direction that the waves are going. This causes sand to build up on one side of the groin, therefore extending the size of the beach closest to the groin. However, since it's blocking transport of sand and sediment, it starves beaches further south in California's case of sand. Another example is seawalls, which are built parallel to the beach on the land in order to protect buildings from waves. But what this does, since it's interrupting the natural pattern of the waves, it causes erosion at the base of the wall, narrowing the beach and completely eradicating habitat. And a third threat to the beach is one we've all seen, and many of us are complicit in, is the sheer amount of pollution on the beach. Beaches can be covered in trash, but there are ways these threats can be managed. First, like many environmental issues, it comes down to reducing our carbon footprint. Now, this can include reducing our own personal carbon footprints, like driving less, turning off the lights in your house, etc. But it is just as important, but in actuality more important, to call for the reduction in carbon emissions from corporations and the elite. And this can be done through community calls to action. And this is the solution to virtually any problem, is coming together as a community to find a solution and call upon those who are most complicit in the problem to change their ways. We must also treat beaches like the fragile, dynamic, beautiful, hospitable ecosystems, habitats, and places that they are. We have to respect beaches as an incredible microcosm of the beautiful, delicate, and amazing planet we have all around us. Recently, many people have been saying that they wish fictional paradise worlds like Pandora from Avatar were real. Well, it is. We live on it. It's all around us. So there's an immense amount at stake here if we lose our beaches. We lose our natural beauty, of course, but we also lose vital habitat for wildlife. Entire species can go extinct, but we also lose one of the best places for community that humanity has. Our world cannot afford to lose our beaches. We must do everything in our power to protect them, because we are doomed if we do not. So next time you are on a beach, please remember that this is your home, this is your beautiful planet Earth, and it is your responsibility to respect and protect it for the good of all humanity and the future of our world.